Hello and welcome to another episode of The Discussion. Today's episode, CreepyPastas. Ready, said, okay, you know what? Let's try not to make a fair reference there, shall we? So, we're going to talk about, the creepy online stories and more or less my opinion on the creepypastas like Slender Man and others. Basically, if you don't know what a creepypasta is, let me just shorten it down. It's basically like most supernatural stories, or more or less rumors, or non-fiction, I guess, or fictional, mostly fictional stories about certain events that have happened, like faceless monsters capturing kids and a haunted photograph making people kill themselves. I mean, I did the research, like, and I didn't really get much out of it. I mean, the word creepypasta just stands for, like, a phrase from a copy pasta where somebody spreads a rumor or a text, like, rapidly around the internet. And from what I got out of that, I didn't even learn anything. But regardless, I kind of did look up on that, and I found out some more creepypastas along with that. So, really, I think the basic creepypasta everybody should know about is either Jeff the Killer or Slenderman. But I think Slenderman would be a little more common because apparently what I've heard is that they're making a movie out of it. Why? Just why? And in all honesty, I don't have to agree with that point because I think they're making a movie out of everything nowadays. I mean, they made the Emoji Movie, the absolute garbage. What has Hollywood become? So, but do I actually believe in them? No, I don't. Why? It's because although people think things like supernatural ghosts or demons exist, it's metaphorically not my type of ordeal. It's not really the best when it comes to, online storytelling. It's just you can either believe it or you don't. It's like atheism, whether you believe in gods or you don't. It's kind of one-sided or both-sided, but I don't really think a lot of creepypastas are true. I mean, sure, granted, there are lost episodes or things that are scripted out of a movie or a show. I mean, every show has pretty much had a dark moment or some moments that have been keeping from the public, and or even then like bootleg versions of a game or DVD where people found that stuff like Ben Drowned, Squidward Suicide, SuicideMouse.avi, etc. But I don't really have to agree with all of them. I mean, lost episodes are kind of a cliche nowadays. So really, it's whether you believe it or not, I kind of don't. It's just not my cup of tea. But if you actually had to ask me what my favorite creepypasta was, well, I guess I'd have to say Smile Dog. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter or Google Plus, then I basically only uploaded art of it yesterday, purely because of teasering for today. But I mean, the reason I only like that creepypasta is just because of the story. It's a clearer story from what Marble Hornets has to offer when it comes to Slenderman, or from things like Jeff the Killer and Jane the Killer, and like how he murdered his parents during their sleep and he cut a smile on his face. I mean, that's some Suicide Squad crap right there. I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm not much of a creepypasta fan, but I mean, I'm probably just speaking out of the Wikipedia. But I did a little more research on it, and there are some instances where actually people don't really have a clear explanation of what's to come. Like, if you've heard of Candle Cove, it's basically one episode was about all the puppets screaming, and for people who have seen the show or have at least heard about it, then it's apparently an hallucination or their imagination, because apparently it wasn't real. It was static, which is pretty odd in itself and kind of creepy. And in other instances, in other online stories, like there was one where it told of a guy going to a cave with his friends. I think it was Ted's Cove or um, Cavern or something like that. But basically, he went in there with a gun and they were never seen again. This reminds me of another story online where somebody went hiking, but they got stuck in between like a ravine sort of type cavern, but they were never seen again and never heard from for years. And it's like you gotta wonder, is it real or is it not? Whether things like the rake exist, which is that humanoid version of the thing that doesn't, spread out and kill you, and like could be coincidence? Probably. I mean, we don't really know because the government likes to hide things from us, let alone things like Sasquatch or, I don't know, like Bigfoot, people say exist, even though it could have been hoaxed. I mean, pretty much anybody can come to a conclusion whether it's a hoax or not. But when it comes to creepypastas, you can just make it up in an instant. You could look at channels like CreepyPasta and they'd make any type of creepypasta that they will choose to, like, without hesitation. It's just, So, regardless, I don't believe in creepypastas, and I honestly, though, if you like them, then go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But I don't really see all of them as real, let alone at least any of them. I mean, again, this is just my opinion. I mean, sure, like, we sometimes think demons and angels exist, but if that exists, then pretty much that could prove a fact that maybe creepypastas exist, or things are just as they seem. I mean, again, they're online stories, so they can't be true or what, so you need to have evidence to actually prove that factor. But regardless, that is my thoughts on creepypastas. So, if you have any topic for me to suggest to talk about, let me know in the comment section below. I'll feature you in the next video if you do so. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, obviously. A Q&A is going to happen in 2 weeks. Also, I'm going to be busy with school, even though I only have like 14 or 15 days left of school, so... But that's pretty much it. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. And like always, peace.